Good? Lovely, I'm on? Excellent. So, hi everyone, I'm Greg. Welcome to a talk about the increasing value of a website session. Full disclosure, I did do this talk yesterday on another stage, and it is still just as freaky seeing everyone with their headphones on. This is very unusual. Hopefully if you haven't got them, you can hear me fine, but yeah, it is very Black Mirror, isn't it? Just watching people with headphones on. Anyway, the talk about the increasing value of website sessions specifically to us as marketers. So I'm a head of marketing, and the talk really is about, I'm putting a case forward that the value of a session to us as marketers is only going up, because either the scarcity or the cost of sessions from certain quality traffic sources is going up, and therefore the value of those sessions is increasing. Before we get into any of that though, a bit about me. Like I say, I'm the head of marketing at a company called Leadoo. We are very conveniently located with a stand literally there, just out of the stage. So if you want to know more about Leadoo after this talk, please come and talk to us on the stand there. I'm not from a tech background though. I actually spent the last 10 years working in marketing agencies. So all different kinds of agencies, generally on the digital side of things. But I'm very much an agency background person. The twang in the accent you might be able to hear is from South Africa, but I've lived in Cardiff in Wales for the last 12, 13 years now, so that's kind of home at this point. My partner though is Italian, so there will be a lot of hand gesturing in this talk for you today. I work for a Finnish company. Leadoo are headquartered in Helsinki, but the UK is increasingly our biggest and certainly our fastest growing market, which is why I'm here as a head of marketing. And deep down, I'm secretly American because I love country music and I love the NFL. Please connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. You might be thinking, Greg, this sounds kind of interesting, but look, sessions are everywhere, right? More and more people use the internet every year. More and more people spend longer in their buying decisions online. They spend longer looking at websites. So why would a session be increasing in value or becoming more scarce? And you're right, I'm not here to make the case to you that there aren't more people using the internet than ever. I'm here to make the case to you that measurable quality sessions, quality traffic from quality traffic sources is becoming more scarce for us as marketers and harder to acquire. And I'm going to lay out 5 kind of core reasons why I believe that's the case. So the first one is the rise of zero-click searches, okay? Now, search traffic, organic search traffic, almost by definition, is quality traffic, okay? If we can get our brand name in front of someone at the moment they are searching for something, we can appear near the top of a search engine, they can see our website and have the option to click on that when they've searched for something related to our brand. That is almost by definition quality traffic. It might not be very high intent, but it's a quality source of traffic for us. There is this phenomenon in search engines, though, the rise of zero-click searches, which is when somebody searches for something, say in Google, they get served a results page full of websites, our websites and loads of other people's, and they don't click on any result. They don't go to a website to find out more information or to have their query answered, okay? When I do this talk normally, I normally do an interactive bit here where I ask people to guess what percentage of searches in Google are zero-click searches every year. It's probably not going to work very well with the Black Mirror headphones, but does anybody want to throw out a guess for what percentage of Google searches don't result in a click to any website? 9%? Anyone higher than 9%? 15? Anyone higher? Any takers? 20, did you say? 20? Anyone higher? 50? Anyone higher than 50? Good guesses. It is a trick question though, and the answer is nobody knows how many zero-click searches there are in Google. And you will see a whole range of estimates on this. So this one here is a study that was done by SparkToro a couple of years ago that made a lot of waves. They put the number at 65% of searches in Google do not result on a click to a website. There was another study by SEMrush, different methodology, they put the number at 25%, okay? The point I'm trying to make here is not that there is an exact number, because there is no universal standard, and I actually think that's really telling that we as marketers don't know that, because we make projections, we make marketing decisions based on search volumes. We look at how many people are searching for a particular keyword or topic, and we make decisions in terms of our SEO strategy or where we want to put resources into answering users' questions. We make tangible decisions based on how many people search for stuff, we have no idea how many of those people don't end up on a website, ours or anybody else's. So I think that's telling, but the point is, whatever the number is, whether it's 10 or 30 or 40 or 70%, there is a huge swathe of organic search traffic, which is quality traffic, that will not end up on our website, anybody else's website. Even if we're position 1 in Google, we won't be getting those sessions. And so the rise of zero-click searches is increasing the scarcity of sessions to us, which is driving up its value. And very much linked to the rise of zero-click searches is the rise of AI, specifically in search engines, okay? And I'm not an AI expert. It's a marketing conference in 2023. I'm sure you have probably all heard a talk about AI today. My talk is not about AI. What I'm talking about here is that AI within search engines is becoming a bit of an arms race, okay? So Bing, for once, got out ahead of Google and the rest of the market because Microsoft, who owned Bing, bought ChatGPT. Okay, so Bing was able to integrate ChatGPT into search ahead of Google and ahead of a lot of other people. All that meant was that Google, in response, said, by our own admission, we are going to roll out our own version of this quicker than we wanted to, quicker than we were planning to. So Google has started to roll out Bard in its search engine results. And what you will increasingly see as these platforms roll this out at scale is that a lot of search queries going forward could be answered not with a traditional set of website results that, like we've talked about, but by a large language model, by an AI appearing as the search engine results, so you won't even see links to websites anymore, and answering your queries, just in the same way as ChatGPT answers your queries now if you type something in there. You don't have to take my word for this. There's a lot of SEO experts that talk about this. If anyone knows, if anyone works in SEO, I'm sure you're familiar with Leadoo Solis. She's fantastic. She has started talking about this idea of the purge recently, okay? This idea that like vast swathes of organic traffic that's always existed for people who ranked in the first few positions may not exist anymore. Those sessions may no longer exist going forward because those search queries might get answered by a large language model or an AI response, okay? So when we talk about the rise of zero-click searches and the rise of AI in search, those two factors, those two threats beyond our control are creating a scarcity in the number of quality sessions that we can acquire potentially. And if your answer is, I can supplement that with paid traffic, I don't have to just rely on organic, I can just pay to be at the top of a search engine. You absolutely can, but you will pay for it because search engine ads are auction-based, so they're inherently inflationary. By nature of being an auction, the more people that enter the auction, the more people that get into the marketplace every year, the higher the cost is going to be. So the global amount that advertisers spent on search engine ads doubled in 4 years, from 2017 to 2021, okay? It went from $100 billion to over $200 billion in a 4-year time frame because more people entered the marketplace and were willing to spend more to acquire those sessions from paid search traffic. The projection is it will double again by 2027, okay? So if your response is, I can get just as many sessions, just as many eyeballs from paid search as organic traffic, you can, but you will pay for it and you will probably pay double every 4, 5, 6 years just to maintain the position that you had previously, okay? And then we as marketers get hit with this, and again, I'm 100% sure there's been talks about this over the last couple of days, this cookieless future that we're all kind of living in right now, okay? Where we as marketers, we see headlines like this all the time. We see the tech giants that we've relied upon for traffic and for advertising placements, like Google or like Facebook, doing away with cookies, falling over themselves to try and get away from third-party cookies, trying to get away from privacy concerns, basically trying to stop what happened to TikTok earlier this year happened to them, which is getting pulled in front of the US Congress, getting a massive fine, having to testify about how they've misused people's data and used external cookies. Everyone is trying to get away from that, okay? From a marketing point of view, that's why we've all had to switch from Universal Analytics to GA4 this year, because Universal Analytics was a cookie-based system, okay? So whether it's Google, whether it's Meta, whether it's Apple, everyone is falling over themselves to get away from third-party cookies, cross-app tracking, cross-device tracking, things that will raise privacy concerns. And I suppose on a basic level, what that means from, say, an advertiser's point of view is you will have far less targeting options available to you, particularly from next year when Google gets rid of third-party cookies in the Chrome browser. You will not have the same preset advertising targeting options that you had before. If anyone's been running Facebook ads for the last 10 years, you've seen this in action, okay? I used to run Facebook ads when I worked in agencies. I used to do this, 5, 6, 8 years ago. It was the wild frickin' west, okay? I could do whatever I wanted to in terms of Facebook targeting. I could target people based on things that I had no business knowing, like their income, their ethnicity, what they were browsing on the internet outside of Facebook. I can't do any of that anymore, rightly, by the way. I can't go onto Facebook and advertise to someone in the UK based on their income anymore. And all of that is a result of things, big picture things that we've heard of, like the Cambridge Analytica scandal, but all of it is linked to this. All of it is linked to these tech giants being very afraid of regulation, being very afraid of privacy concerns, and trying to move away from you as an advertiser having preset options based on third-party cookies, okay? And when we talk about the increasing value of sessions, what we mean by this is you won't have the same targeting options, and you may have to spend more advertising on these platforms to reach the same type of audiences that you were reaching before. And the final reason number 5 that I want to talk about, just in terms of why the value of sessions is going up to us as marketers, is the rising cost of links, okay? So I've worked in PR agencies, again, going back sort of 5, 6, 10 years, if you got really kick-ass national or international PR coverage, you were almost always guaranteed backlinks from that, and backlinks are worth their weight in gold from an SEO perspective. But also you would generally get, if you got really good national PR coverage, you'd get a decent amount of referral traffic from that. If you had national newspapers featuring you on their websites and linking to you, you would get a steady stream of good quality referral traffic there. A lot of media outlets now have caught on to how valuable backlinks are, and a lot of media outlets will not give you a backlink even if you get coverage on their website unless you have a commercial agreement in place. So unless you're already buying advertorials or paying for guest blogs, it is standard for a lot of media outlets not to link to you now. You generally have to provide some really incredible content or tools or interactive features on your website that they have a reason to link to. And if you don't have that, if you've just secured sort of standard PR coverage that you've been securing for years, you're far less likely to get a link from that. This is a report by IRA. They're a digital PR agency. They put out a state of link building report every year. It's very good. But one of their findings from this past year was that even in a year where people spent more on link building and digital PR than ever before, it's typical for a digital PR campaign to get less than 10 links. And that's not due to a lack of coverage, that's due to those outlets not giving them links by default, even when they're featured in coverage. So, when I talk about the increasing value of a session, I'm really talking in economic terms. When we talk about organic search traffic and we talk about the rise of zero-click searches or the rise of AI in search engines, that is creating a potential scarcity for us as marketers. When we talk about increasing search ad competition, we're talking about an increasing cost. And when we talk about the cookieless future or the rising cost of links, it's both. And if you did a basic intro to economics course when you were in high school, you'll know that when the cost of something goes up and or the scarcity of something goes up, its value goes up generally. And so when I talk about the increasing value of a session, we really are talking in kind of economic terms for us as marketers. So, what are we meant to do about this? Because this all sounds a little bit scary. What are we meant to do about this? And the problem that I see that a lot of marketers fall into, and I am more guilty of this than anyone, by the way, because I worked in agencies for 10 years, so I fully understand the pressure of a client turning to you or a C-suite level executive turning to you and saying, why is traffic down from this traffic source? But what a lot of us tend to do as marketers is we tend to look at, say, a month-on-month or a quarter-on-quarter report, and we look at where traffic is down from, and we make short-term decisions to try and fix that traffic problem. So, for instance, we might look at a quarterly report and say, we're getting a lower click-through rate from organic search because we're seeing a rise of zero-click searches. What can we do in the short term from an SEO perspective to get that traffic back? Or we look at a paid search report and we say, month on month, we're getting less clicks from paid search because there's 5 new people who've started bidding in our space, there's more competition, we're not getting as many sessions, how can we supplement that with other forms of paid traffic, for instance? And the problem with that way of thinking is, A, you fall into very short-termist thinking. You make quite big decisions, big marketing decisions on very short-term data. But the bigger problem for us at Leadoo with that approach is you miss the much bigger piece of the pie, because the end goal of marketing should never be just about traffic. The end goal of marketing should be to drive as many positive commercial outcomes, particularly from a digital marketing point of view, as many positive commercial outcomes as you can through a website. So whatever a conversion means to you, it might mean a sale, but it could mean a demo request, it could mean a job application on your site, it could mean a PDF download. A conversion means lots of different things to different people, but the goal of marketing should always be to get as many conversions as possible, to get good quality conversions through a website, and to drive commercial outcomes, or to help drive commercial outcomes. Traffic can be a means to an end to do that, but what I'm judged as a head of marketing really should have nothing to do with how much traffic is on the site. It should be how many leads, how many demos, how many positive outcomes are we getting through our website as a result of the actions I'm taking. And the reason at Leadoo that we think this misses the biggest piece of the pie is because the average conversion rate for a website across the internet is 2%. 2%. That's all websites, B2B, B2C, everything. The average conversion rate is around 2%. And that means 98% of people come onto websites and do not convert. They do not do what we want them to do as marketers, okay? Obviously, we're never going to get that number to 0, but surely we can get it down from 98%, right? Surely we can get more than 2% of the traffic we drive to take a conversion action that we want it to take. So, that was a lot of technical stuff about factors and the state of digital marketing and things that affect us as marketers. Let's take a step back, let's simplify it, let's take the internet out of it, okay? Let's imagine that you own a store in the 1970s and the internet doesn't exist. Nice, right? Nice thought. You own a store in quite a busy shopping center, okay? But there's a number of things happening, there's a number of external factors that are making it harder for you to get more people into your store specifically, okay? So the first one is more stores just start springing up in the shopping center. More stores selling the same kind of stuff that you sell start appearing in the shopping center, okay? The shopping center then starts putting up signs and information all around it that negate the need for some people to come into your store to ask you a question, okay? So they start putting up information about other stores that sell similar things, or stock levels, or opening hours. There's just more information around this shopping center that means some fewer people have to come in to ask you a question directly. And then the center just flat out stops telling you about customers. It stops telling you about the demographics of people who come into the center, their buying habits. You just know less about the people who are in the shopping center at any one time. And the eagle-eyed among you will see that all of those are kind of analogous for some of these threats and factors that I've talked about in the first half of the talk. So you have a choice in this situation. You as the shop owner have a choice. You can either put your resources and your time and your effort into solving the footfall problem that the center has created for you. You can think of this as a traffic problem. You can spend time trying to get more people into your store and combat these threats that you're facing. Or you can hire a young sales assistant because you see that the store next door has hired a young sales assistant. They're really good at their job, and they're increasing the likelihood of people in that store next to you buying something by 70%. And you know that because the shop owner next door to you doesn't shut up about it, okay? So you can try and solve the traffic problem, or you can get a sales assistant of your own. And when you put it in those terms, most people would say, yeah, I should get a sales assistant of my own. Most people would probably say I should poach next door's sales assistant, to be honest with you, okay? And to bring it back to a digital context, that's what Leadoo is. Leadoo is that sales assistant. And I haven't made the 70% number up, okay? The average conversion rate increase that more than 800 Leadoo clients saw last year over base conversion rates was 74%, okay? So we at Leadoo fundamentally believe we are that sales assistant and we can increase the likelihood of people buying something in your digital storefront. I don't have a huge amount of time and I'm certainly not going to go into all of Leadoo's features. We have a stand right there. Please come and talk to me afterwards. Please come and talk to some of our lovely conversion experts on the stand if you want to find out more, if you want to see the tool in action and see how we do this. But in a nutshell, what we do at Leadoo is we funnel people towards conversion points. We give people interactive and personalized prompts to reach conversion points. And you would be amazed at how poor a job some websites do of this in terms of signposting people, giving people the option to find out more information for themselves and where they need to go to take whatever a conversion action is to you. Could be a PDF download, could be a sale. Could be a job application, could be booking a demo. It could be any number of things. It could be calling your customer support line if that's what a conversion means to you. But whatever it is, you would be amazed at how poorly a lot of websites signpost that information and drive people towards it. So what our tools do is sit on your website. We don't build websites from scratch. Our tools embed into your current website and they give people personalized interactive prompts and journeys to reach those conversion points for you. And when I say personalized, that is really the key. This was meant to be an animated GIF. I've had to do these on a PDF, so you won't be able to see it properly. But what this is saying is this person here is called Michael. This user is called Michael, okay? And the prompt that Michael has been served by the Leadoo chatbot is, "Hi Michael, welcome back. What are you looking for today?" And one of the options Michael's presented with is, "I'm still looking for tech talent." And you would have seen that in the interactive GIF, sorry. But the reason for that is because we know from our Leadoo tools and our analytics and our tracking that Michael came onto our website before, so he's a return visitor. We know what he was looking at. In his case, he was looking for help with tech recruiting and tech talent. So one of the personalized options or prompts that we can serve Michael is, "Hey, are you still looking for information about this? And if you are, here's where you should go on the website." And by serving these really relevant, hyper-personalized experiences, which people increasingly expect, by the way, on websites, there's a lot of research to suggest that consumers really expect personalized experiences nowadays. By fulfilling that request in our digital storefront, we are much more likely to drive Michael towards that conversion point. And again, please come and see us afterwards if you have questions about how this works. But what Leadoo then does on the back end is it, as I say, collects, tracks all of this information, and can pass it back to your sales teams. So we have two-way integrations with virtually any CRM system on the planet. We use HubSpot, personally at Leadoo. So for instance, if any of you come onto our Leadoo website, say from your work laptop, I'm able to see that, sorry, what was your name? Haha, good name. So Greg from Pharmaca. If Greg from Pharmaca goes onto our Leadoo website from his work laptop, I'll be able to see Greg from Pharmaca was on the website. These are the pages he looked at. I'll be able to look up how big of a company Pharmaca is. And if say me or anyone else from Leadoo was trying to sell to you, if we were trying to prospect you as a customer, I'd be able to pass an alert to Sammy, who's one of our sales team, to say, "Hey Sammy, you're looking after pharmaceutical clients. Greg from Pharmaca, who you might be prospecting based on the size of his company, has been on the website. This is where he converted. This is the content he didn't engage with." And by knowing all of that information as a salesperson, Sammy is much more likely to make his conversion, which is trying to sign Greg as a client. As I say, please come and see us afterwards if you want more information about seeing that in action. To go back to the theme of the talk, the increasing value of a session and why we should focus on this as a conversion problem and not a traffic problem. Website A gets 50,000 sessions a month and it converts people at 3%. If that's your website, you will get 1,500 conversions or 1,500 leads a month. You can lose 10,000 sessions. You can lose a fifth of your traffic every month. If you can increase your conversion rate from 3 to 4%, you will come out with noticeably more leads every month. To give you a more extreme example, your website still gets 50,000 sessions, still converts at 3%. If you can increase your conversion rate 70%, which is the average number we talked about earlier, your conversion rate will now be 5.1%. you could lose almost half your traffic. You could go from 50,000 sessions to 30,000 sessions. Your traffic could nosedive, and you would still come out with more leads if you converted at 5.1%. To go back to the start, there are all of these threats that are making it harder for us as marketers to acquire quality traffic. It is scary, it is beyond our control. I can't do anything about the rise of AI, I can't do anything about increasing paid search competition. I am in control of my website experience. I am in control of signposting people, giving people relevant, interactive, personal experiences, and if I can do that on my website, I can increase conversion rate, and I can come out with more leads from less traffic. And to give you a real life example of this is one of Leadoo's clients, DTech. The 20 to 21 is the 12 months before they got Leadoo. 21 to 22 is the 12 months after they got Leadoo. DTech are a very niche business. They have a very niche service offering. So that 30,000 sessions you can see in a year, that's over a full year. It's not a high traffic website, okay? 30,000 sessions in the year before using Leadoo, they got about 100 leads from that in total. In the 12 months after using Leadoo, their overall traffic numbers dropped, okay? We're not a traffic acquisition platform. Their overall traffic dropped for lots of different reasons. Went down to 28,000 sessions, but they were able to more than 5 times their conversion rate, okay? And when you do that, you can get less traffic and you can still come out with a shed load more leads as they did, okay? So if there's one thing I can leave you with today, you don't have to purely approach this from a traffic point of view. There's lots of reasons why it's hard to get traffic. There's lots of reasons why it's expensive to get traffic. You aren't in control of all those reasons, but you are in control potentially of the experience you give customers and ultimately what your conversion rate is. So our mission at Leadoo, why we exist, we're quite a young company, but why we exist is because we want to create really personalized, really interactive, really fun, really commercially driven experiences for people on websites, because we believe that that is the key to positive business outcomes. We don't believe marketers should be purely focused on traffic. We don't believe marketers should be making all their decisions about where is traffic up, where is traffic down. We believe that marketers have a much bigger piece of the pie that they can tackle, which is the 98% of people that don't convert on their websites. If this has struck a chord, if you'd like to know more about this, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Please check out the Leadoo website if you're in a hurry and you have to rush off today, or please come to that stand over there. The team will happily show you in action. They'll give you a real life demo and we can answer any questions you've got. But thank you so much for your time. Really good to see you all and hope you had a good day.